Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of the LabZtorm Diggamount. This audio podcast is part of the Component Installment Robotics. This audio podcast as part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production. Through this audio podcast, some conclusions then in as part of this audio podcast series or chapter. So in untransfusible recipients, it is still to be piloted through large-scale clinical trials as to whether, for example, erythropoietin or EPO has an advantage over RBTs, especially in recipients who might be more at risk of transfusion, especially in those, for example, who might be at more probable risk of red cell or RBT-like reactions. Um, so whilst trends in clinical management do follow updates in treatment guidelines, there is still sort of a delayed uptake in guideline recommendations across SCA and or thalassemia practices. So whilst the synthesis of EPO, for example, may not be used or utilized in sort of may not be, for example, prescribed, for example, in SCA recipients or thalassemia recipients entirely. There is if there is evidence of reduced eGFR, then this can affect this then can affect a recipient's overall HB hemoglobin, and so therefore there is still a requirement for sort of a for and against debate regarding blood RBT or RBT use, and how care or healthcare is managed and practiced for SCA and thalassemia recipients, and particularly in around and surrounding eGFR or eGFR health. So this sort of collaborative works, ultimately informs that feasibility and pilot longitudinal investigations are required that look to compare different forms of treatment alternatives or treatment modalities in groups of CI, in cohorts of CI and SCA or thalassemia recipients or patients who are routinely or would routinely be prescribed RBTs, and wherein eGFR is factored and to understand if recipients or patients may advantage from alternative treatment modalities. That draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of the LabZtorm Diggamount. This audio podcast as part of the Component Installment Robotics. And this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.